Angel Reese was supposed to be the future of the WNBA, a walking double-double, a media sensation, a fan magnet. And now, she's being pushed out of the paint, stripped of her role, and possibly replaced. It's not just a coaching decision, it's a firestorm. Chicago Sky fans are furious. Conspiracy theories are swirling. And Angel? She hasn't even shown up to training camp. So what really happened? Is this a bold coaching move designed to unlock the team's full potential? Or is it a targeted takedown of one of the league's biggest stars? Let's break it down. It all started with a quiet announcement from new head coach Tyler Marsh, a man with a very different vision for the Chicago Sky. Instead of building the offense around Angel Reese, the queen of hustle and rebounding, Marsh unveiled a completely reworked strategy. The paint would no longer belong to Reese. Instead, the Sky's offense would run through Camila Cardoso, a 6'7" Brazilian rookie fresh off a dominant international run. Just like that, Angel was pushed out. Her signature role, the one that made her a college legend and rookie phenom, was handed to someone else. And the fans? They didn't take it lightly. Social media exploded. Words like sabotage, jealousy, and disrespect were trending. Across WNBA circles, people wanted answers. And fast, because this wasn't just a minor tweak. This was a seismic shift in how the Sky planned to play. And Reese, whether she liked it or not, had been given a modified role, one that no longer made her the centerpiece. For Angel Reese, everything she built came from being near the basket. At LSU, she dominated the boards, bullied opponents in the post, and turned every missed shot into a second chance. That identity carried straight into her rookie season in the WNBA. She wasn't just a role player, she was a symbol. Fans didn't show up to see a stretch forward taking mid-range jumpers. They came to see Reese crash the boards, dive for loose balls, and fight in the paint. But now, Coach Marsh is asking her to step away from that. Instead of dominating under the rim, she's expected to space the floor, taking mid-range shots, cutting off ball and evolving into a stretch four. But there's a problem. Angel can't shoot, at least not consistently. Her field goal percentage? Just 39.1%. And those are mostly shots taken close to the basket. Asking her to pull up from 10 to 15 feet out? That's not a slight adjustment. It's a total reinvention. To many fans, this isn't a strategy shift. It's a betrayal. You take the league's best rebounder, move her away from the basket, and hand her role to a rookie? How else are people supposed to see that? And worse, Angel hasn't even shown up to training camp since the announcement. Not a press conference, not a statement. Nothing but silence. That kind of reaction speaks volumes. To her fans, it confirms the worst. She's being set up to fail, but the team sees it differently. Just days before the Chicago Sky faced off against the Brazilian national team at LSU, Camila Cardoso was still a promising rookie waiting for her moment. But right after that game, everything changed. Coach Marsh began hinting at an offense that no longer revolved around Angel Reese. Suddenly, all eyes were on Cardoso, and this timing didn't go unnoticed. Fans immediately cried foul. Social media was ablaze with claims that Angel was being pushed out to make room for the international rookie, that the Sky's front office wanted a new face of the franchise, someone taller, more efficient, and less outspoken. Some even went so far as to say Camila's presence was designed to overshadow Angel. Sound far-fetched? Maybe. But consider this. Cardoso's promotion came without much explanation. No quotes from Marsh. No detailed press conferences, just a vague message about wanting more versatility and spacing. And then, poof, Reese is out of the paint, and Cardoso is standing where Angel used to shine. Whether intentional or not, the optics were terrible. And in a league where perception is everything, this felt personal. To Angel's fans, it looked like a power play, a quiet coup, a new coach rewriting the script without giving the star a chance to speak. But was it really about favoritism, or was it about results? Let's take emotion out of it for a second. Angel Reese is a phenomenal rebounder. That's a fact. Her energy is unmatched, and her hustle is the stuff of highlight reels. But when you dig into the stats, a different picture emerges. Her shooting. Percentage? Just 39.1%. And those are shots taken almost entirely within a few feet of the rim. That's not just below average. That's alarming, especially when you consider her main job was finishing near the basket. Meanwhile, Camila Cardoso brings size, touch, and polish. She finishes at a much higher rate, plays with more control, and doesn't need 4 putback attempts to get 2 points. Even more critical, Cardoso provides spacing. She doesn't clog the paint. She knows how to move without the ball. She can pass out of the post instead of forcing up bad shots. In today's WNBA, that's gold. The Sky aren't just making a change, they're evolving. They're trying to build an offense that can actually stretch the floor and keep up with teams like Las Vegas and New York. Angel's old-school post-heavy game just doesn't fit that mold. And when you build your brand on being unstoppable in the paint, that's a tough pill to swallow. Because what happens when the numbers say you're not that unstoppable anymore? Let's be honest, most players would take a role change as a challenge. They'd hit the gym harder. They'd show up to camp early. They'd prove everyone wrong. But Angel, she vanished. Since the announcement of her new role, Angel Reese hasn't been spotted at training camp. No practice footage, no interviews, nothing but silence. And that silence, it's deafening. It tells fans one thing: Angel didn't take this change well. Instead of adapting, she disappeared. Some see it as protest, others see it as immaturity. But either way, it's not a great look for someone who's supposed to be a leader. Julie Poe of the Chicago Sun-Times reported that Reese is expected to adapt to a modified role that will tap into her full potential as a stretch four. That sounds like opportunity, but Angel's response suggests she sees it as punishment. And that right there is the heart of the problem, because this isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about pride, identity, ego. Angel isn't being asked to abandon her strengths. She's being asked to develop new ones. And so far, she's resisting. The very thing she needs to do to grow her game is the thing she refuses to embrace. And that's not just a coaching issue. That's a mindset issue. As soon as Angel's absence from training camp hit the news, the internet exploded. Fans weren't just upset, they were outraged. Comment sections filled up with messages like, "They're trying to erase her legacy. Time to demand a trade. Angel deserves better." It wasn't just about basketball anymore. It became emotional, personal, a full-blown movement. Some fans accused the Sky of orchestrating a takeover, bringing in Camila Cardoso specifically to erase Angel's dominance. Others compared it to what they believe happened to Caitlin Clark, arguing that the WNBA is too eager to control its breakout stars instead of letting them shine. And then came the ultimate rallying cry: "They don't deserve you, Angel." It didn't matter that Coach Marsh hadn't made a public statement. It didn't matter that no official word had come out from Angel or the team. The fan base decided the truth for themselves, and once that fire started, there was no putting it out. Now, we're watching a league-wide spectacle unfold. News outlets are picking it up. YouTubers are dissecting it. Instagram pages are running free Angel memes by the minute, all while Reese remains completely silent. That silence, it's fueling the fire, and it's making people wonder, has Angel already made up her mind? Let's talk about something few are brave enough to say out loud. Angel Reese sells. She sells tickets, she sells jerseys, she drives engagement like few others in the WNBA. She has one of the most powerful brands in the league, and that's no accident. But the WNBA isn't a reality show. It's a professional league, and at some point, performance has to outweigh popularity. That's where this situation gets uncomfortable, because as good as Angel is off the court, her on-court limitations are becoming hard to ignore. Rebounding, elite. Effort, unquestioned. Shot mechanics, slow. Offensive skill set, limited. And in today's fast-paced, floor-spaced league, that's a problem. Camila Cardoso might not have Angel's brand appeal yet, but she's got something more valuable to a coach: upside, potential, efficiency. She plays within the system. She fits the vision. And that, more than anything, is why she's getting the spotlight. This isn't about tearing Angel down. It's about building something better, something more modern, something that actually wins games. And Angel, she can either be part of that, or she can be left behind. Here's where things get even more complicated, because this isn't just about two players competing for the same role. It's about control, power, influence. Angel's fans think the media is manipulating her image. They think journalists are favoring Camila. They believe the WNBA is trying to silence powerful black women who speak their minds, that the league is more interested in crafting narratives than supporting its stars. Is that true? Maybe, maybe not. But one thing is clear: players don't control the narrative anymore. Journalists write the headlines. Coaches make the rotations. Social media shapes perception. And for someone like Angel, who's built her brand on being unapologetically herself, that's a tough adjustment, especially when the story being told doesn't match the one she wants to live. Her fans want her to push back, to speak out, to demand better. But so far, all we've seen is silence. And in a media environment that thrives on stories, silence can be fatal. Because if you don't control your story, someone else will. Conclusion: what comes next for Angel? So now we're here. Angel Reese, once the darling of women's college basketball, the rookie phenom, the rebounding queen, is facing a career crossroads. The Chicago Sky are asking her to evolve, to adapt, to expand her game beyond the paint. And instead of rising to the challenge, she's ghosted. The fans are furious. The media is circling. The coaching staff is moving on. This isn't just about a role change. It's about identity, legacy, the future. Will Angel double down on what made her famous? Or will she embrace the uncomfortable grind of transformation? One path leads to longevity, the other to irrelevance. Because the WNBA isn't waiting. The league is growing, the game is changing, and the players who can't or won't keep up, they get left behind. Reese still has time. She still has talent. She still has the opportunity to evolve. But every day she skips training camp, every jumper she refuses to take, and every silent moment she offers instead of leadership moves her one step closer to becoming the player she never wanted to be. A cautionary tale. So what should she do? Adapt and lead, or walk away and let the narrative bury her? That's the question, and time is running out.